My substitute pulled the gum from under my desk and asked, "Is this yours?" "Yeah." I stared at her confused because that seemed like a really strange question to ask in the middle of class. "I see," she said. Then her eyes rolled back and she collapsed between the desks. Her whole body went rigid and started shaking. The teacher's pet was already screaming, "Someone get help!" Kids were screaming and backing away. Ella, this girl I'd been talking to, kept grabbing my arm saying, "What did you do?" Even though all I did was admit the gum was mine. Logan, our class clown, stood there frozen saying, "What the helly?" Someone ran to get the nurse while others crowded around trying to help. I just sat there frozen because what the hell was happening? One second she's asking about gum and the next she's dying on our classroom floor. The nurse burst in with an EpiPen and jabbed it into Mrs. Pierce's thigh. She was shouting for someone to call 911 and asking what happened, but nobody knew. All I could say was, she asked about my gum, and then this happened. She also said something about the thermostat being too high, some kid added, like right when she walked in. The paramedics arrived in like 5 minutes, but it felt like hours. What did she eat? What did she touch? Does anyone know her allergies? Nobody knew anything because she was a sub we'd never seen before. One paramedic kept asking if she'd been stung by something or if anyone saw her take medication. They checked her arms and neck for bug bites. One of them mentioned her medical bracelet was missing, which seemed weird, but they moved on. I kept saying she just asked about my gum, but he looked at me like I was wasting his time with irrelevant information. They wheeled her out, and her body was still twitching. Ella wouldn't even look at me anymore. Everyone had to leave except me. They made me sit there while they took photos of my desk and the gum under it with gloves on like it was a crime scene. They also bagged up my backpack and took pictures of the whiteboard for some reason. The principal kept asking what I'd eaten for lunch. It seemed like such a weird question when our substitute just almost died, but I told him. PB&J, apple, cookies. He wrote it all down and made a phone call to someone. I heard him say something about liability and get legal on the line. 2 hours later, I was sitting in the principal's office when Mrs. Pierce's daughter showed up. The principal tried to explain what happened, but she cut him off. "My mother has a severe peanut allergy. It's in her substitute teacher file. It's supposed to be announced to every class." She turned to glare at me. "Did you know that?" "No, nobody told us anything. She just showed up and started teaching. I don't even know why." "You ate peanut butter for lunch," she interrupted. "Then you chewed gum. Then you stuck it under your desk covered in peanut residue. My mother touched it while inspecting your vandalism. Everything clicked into place, and I felt sick. This is your fault," she continued. "If you hadn't been vandalizing school property, my mother wouldn't be in the ICU right now. We're going to sue you and your family for everything." I stood up because I was done being blamed for something I couldn't have predicted. How was I supposed to know your mom would go around touching random gum under desks? That's gross, and nobody told us about her allergy. The principal jumped in before it could escalate more, but the damage was done. I was suspended. My mom had to pick me up early, and the whole ride home I kept thinking about how insane this was. That night, I was lying in bed brain rotting when my phone started blowing up, like notification after notification. Logan texted, "Yo, check your Instagram. Someone posted a video of you laughing after Mrs. Pierce collapsed. It looks really bad, dude." I opened Instagram, and there it was. A video from someone's story, already reposted by half the school. It showed me sitting at my desk right after Mrs. Pierce hit the floor. In the chaos, Logan had made some dumb joke, and I'd given this nervous half laugh. But in the video, with no context, it looked like I was smiling while she was dying. The caption read, "This psycho really poisoned a teacher and laughed about it." The comments were even worse. People calling me a monster, saying I did it on purpose. Someone found my mom's Facebook. My address was in the replies. I tried to delete my account, but screenshots were already everywhere. That's when my mom called. Full story on channel, link below.